Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Juice Baseball channel, and welcome back to the Cincinnati Reds rebuild here on MLB The Show 22. We are in September of 2026. Last episode was the post-trade deadline episode where we simulated down here to this game against the Baltimore Orioles, and played that game mainly because it was the first game back in Baltimore for Adley Rutschman after the trade deadline episode a couple episodes ago, and we absolutely smoked the Baltimore Orioles 10-3, including an Adley Rutschman home run on his first at-bat back in Baltimore. So we ended up winning that game, sweeping the series, and then going to September where we played the Cubs in a 3-game set and lost 2 of 3. But now we are at September 1st, and the reason we stopped at September 1st instead of simulating down to this series against the Nationals, which is the game or the series that we are going to be playing in today's episode, is because September 1st is September call-ups. We have 2 spots available, and I have no idea who we are going to call up. Probably Taj Bradley to have another arm in the bullpen. Maybe Luis Patino would be a good option. Definitely want to have a bullpen arm for the postseason. That's going to be a good thing to have. Other than that, we probably need to have some more depth in the outfield. So Jay Allen probably gets called up, I would assume. So it's probably going to be Jay Allen and Patino are the guys that get called up. So let's do that right now. Jay Allen gets called up. He's been in the bigs before. He's had 2 seasons previously in the bigs. And then let's call up Patino. Yeah, let's call up Patino. So those are our 2 call-ups. An extra arm in the bullpen, which is always useful, especially in the postseason. And then an extra outfield body to possibly relieve some depth. Plus, he's got 90 speed. So if we need a pinch runner, he's definitely fits that bill. So we've got a lot of good depth in the bench. Plus, we've got our Studley lineup right now, and the pitching rotation is pretty good. We've got Ohtani and Priester trying to battle for the Cy Young. I don't think they're going to get it. Oh, Ohtani fell out of it, but it is Priester still. If Priester can lower his ERA, he might have a shot at winning it. It's going to be pretty tough. Obviously, Juan Soto has got a good shot at winning the MVP this year and the batting title, but he did most of that in Washington this season. But he is continuing it. So let's start simulating the month of September to get down to that final week where we play the Nationals and Juan Soto's former team. Let's simulate this series against the Brewers, and the Bats don't have a AAA lineup, the valid pitch rotation. We will need to go to their rotation and figure out who's going to step in. It'll be Antoine Hansen who will step in and fill the void, and we'll probably need to do that for the lineup as well. Rodney Raditz looks like he'll take over in center field for the remainder of the season, unless anybody here can play it. No, I don't think they can. So Raditz, where's he at? He's already in center field, so what is this? This is left field. So Raditz, or Justin Boyd will play left field. Then Raditz will, no, Justin Boyd will switch with Raditz. Right there, perfect. And then Justin Boyd needs to come in and play left field here. There we go, perfect. So the Bats are all figured out. Let's simulate this series against the Brewers. Big victories, a 3-game sweep. Priester gets his 17th victory of the season. Luzardo comes and gets a victory, and Patino got a victory. So we have 90 wins. We have 90 wins, and we've done it. We've clinched the division in September, boys. This division is crap, except for us. This division is a load of garbage, and then us standing atop it. But we have guaranteed ourselves the division in September. That's the quickest we've ever won a division in this series. GM goals, we won 92 games last year on our way to a World Series victory. So if we can win 2 more games the rest of the month, then we'll tie our best record. But I'm thinking we're going for 100. We are going for 100 wins. I don't want to jinx anything, but there's 92. We've gotten 92 victories. Let's continue simulating here. 94 victories. We haven't swept anybody in a couple of series, but now we play the Dodgers, who are having also a really good season, 81-65. We take 2 of 3 against them, but Cleveland Robles is out for... Oh, he's still injured. Okay, my bad. I thought he was just injured. 96 victories. Have we clinched anything further if we go to the standings? No, we still have only clinched just the NL Central, because we're battling with the Padres, with the Dodgers. We're battling with everybody for best record in the league. I think the White Sox and Tigers have a good shot at it if we slip up a little bit. But right now, we're the only team with 90 wins, 90-plus wins. Everybody else is in the high 80s. So if we win a couple more games, we could very well clinch best record in the league. Big 3-game set on the road in New York against the Mets. We had to go from playing the Dodgers at home to going on the road to play the Mets and Cardinals. That's pretty crazy. But let's see if we can get to 100 wins here in this final week, or this week before the final games. We will. Logan Gilbert injured. That's not good, but we do take 2 or 3 against the Mets. Man, we cannot sweep anybody. Quinn Preacher's got 19 wins, though. He is on track for a 20-win season. And Juan Soto has slipped from the MVP. Freddie Freeman has a chance at it. He's got 42 home runs and more RBIs. Soto's going to have to step it up, but Priester has stepped up and taken over the Cy Young. We are in a battle for a lot of awards. Emmanuel Clase is battling for the reliever of the year. Soto is battling for the Hank Aaron and for the batting title in the MVP. Priester is battling for the Cy Young. I'd really like to have back-to-back Cy Youngs. That'd be cool. All we need to do is win 2 games in this Cardinals series, and we've won 100 games for the first time in this series. And we will do it. We won't sweep the Cardinals. We will split 2 with them. But we've won 100 games for the first time in this series. That is awesome. And we've done it. We've clinched the best record in the league with 100 wins. Nobody else can get there past us. Nobody else with the games remaining in the schedule can win 100 games. That is so cool. So if we were to win, hypothetically, if we were to win every single game left, we would have 103, 106 would be the max record we can get. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's a possibility. I'm not saying it's not a possibility. Now we got to figure out who we play with in this series. We could play this game against Dustin May. That'd be pretty funny, going up against our former pitcher. That would be hilarious. Or we could utilize Logan Gilbert. It's all up in the air. I don't really know where we go with this one. I think what we do is, for the storyline alone, I think we play Game 2 against Dustin May. So Juan Soto will play Game 1 against the Washington Nationals. Gilbert gets a victory, and that's our 100th and first victory of the season. We are 22 and a half games up on the Cubs. We have dominated this season, but we will play Dustin May. Casey Mize will get the call at home in Great American. Juan Soto plays his former team. Adley Rutschman at catcher, De La Cruz at third base, Mauricio at shortstop, Thomas at center field, Guerrero Jr. first base, Kirilloff as the DH, Jonathan India second base, and Julio will lead off at left field. I cannot wait. The hype is real. Let's get down to business. Juan Soto versus the Nationals. Dustin May versus the Reds. It writes itself at Great American. Let's get it going.
And welcome in, everybody. Glad you're with us. Major League Baseball on tap. It's the Washington Nationals going up against the Cincinnati Reds. Alongside Chris Singleton, I'm John Chambi. We're in store for a Major League debut in this one, Singy. It remains to be seen what kind of career he'll have, but here's step one, and there's a lot of hope and optimism around it. This organization thinks he can be an impact player.
And from what I've seen and heard from people that follow prospects really closely, I do too. We may not see him light the league on fire right from the start, as there's usually a learning curve, but I think he has the skill set to be successful at this level for a long time.
First pitch coming your way next. So just about set now. And on the hill today, Casey Mize. Singy, he's managed to rack up a lot of innings on the mound this season.
And Boog, this guy's getting...
Here we go, boys. Reds and Nationals, Game 2 of the series. Casey Mize takes the mound for the Reds, and as you can see, 101 and 56, first in the NL Central, best record in the league, clinched the division already, and Casey Mize starts out the game strong with a strikeout swanging of Nick York. Robles then hits that ball up the middle of the field to center field. Thomas, he gets it, and he will get a single with one out. 2-1 count to Kyle Lewis. Kyle Lewis is one of those guys that I struggle to pitch against for some reason. Just every once in a while, there's a guy that I struggle to pitch against. Luckily, I got a big-time swing and a miss from him, and he will go down. But Tristan Casas, I forgot that Tristan Casas was a part of the deal that got us Juan Soto. So he gets walked. Maybe a little bit of home team bias there. But Urias will ground out to Elliot de Cruz to end the inning, and now the good guys take the plate. Dustin May will go against us for the first time in a Nationals uniform. This is crazy. He wasn't having a good season earlier this year. We had to move on from him. He was a big piece to help us get Juan Soto. His first time pitching back in Great American since the trade deadline. And he will get Julio Rodriguez out for the first play, or the first out of the game. Tristan Casas is not playing DH for the Nationals. He is playing right field. Obviously for us, he had to play DH because we had Kirilloff playing right field, and I just figured he wasn't a good enough right fielder at that point in time. But he's playing right field for the Nationals, and Jonathan India will take a double into right center field. So now we have one out and one runner on second for Kirilloff. He's been very good in recent games, and he will drive in the first run of the game. Jonathan India will come around third, and he will be safe. Kirilloff delivers an RBI single, and the Reds are up 1-0. 1-0 to the good guys. Dustin May has been struggling this year, coming off of his Cy Young victory last year. Only 7 wins on the season. Above 4 ERA. We had to dump him. He was making too much money for that kind of production. So we had to dump him, and we were able to get Juan Soto out of it. But that's not the big fish. The big fish is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Can he beat the throw? He cannot. If he had a little bit more speed, he probably beats it. Most likely does beat it. But he does advance Kirilloff to second, and now Juan Soto steps up against his former team. He played against them last game in Game 1, but truly for the first time with us, he didn't even get a hit. He struck out in 3 at-bats against them in the first game of the series. So this could very well be his first hit against the Nationals, but it will have to wait until his next at-bat. Ground out to first base. Dustin May makes the play. But hey, we got on the board. 1-0 to the good guys. Kirilloff delivers. Luis Garcia steps up to lead off the second. And Casey Mize will deliver a fastball that Garcia sends into right field into foul territory. We'll see if we can strike him out here with a sinker. We got 2 guys to strike out last inning. Ooh, he doesn't chase it. Interesting. I thought he would go after it. His teammates certainly went after pitches like that. But that'll be a grounder to first base. Guerrero easily fields it, steps on the bag, and that is the first out of the inning. Kybert Ruiz, little chunky dude, steps up to the plate on a 1-1. Sends that ball into foul territory along the left side, and we'll go 1-2 with a sinker, see if we can strike this man out. Oh, he swings after it, but he makes contact. A little bit of a foul tip, and it's still 1-2. Here comes the curveball. It was a little bit of a delayed swing, but De La Cruz fields it in the hot corner. Fires a bullet to first base, and that is the second out of the inning. Alex Freeland making his major league debut today. So not only do we have a little bit of a reunion between Dustin May and the Reds and Juan Soto and the Nationals, but we have a debut from Freeland, but he fouls out, or he pops up into foul territory for Elliot de la Cruz. So his rookie debut is going to have to wait, his first career hit. Somebody that has a bunch of career hits, Ronnie Mauricio, gets out for the first out. Adley Rutschman, I want to hit another home run with you, but we're no longer in Baltimore, although Great American is also a very hitter-friendly ballpark. I really want to hit another home run. Unfortunately for me, that is a fly out to left field. Robles will make the play, and that's 2 quick outs for the bottom of the second. De La Cruz steps up. De La Cruz will foul tip and make it 1-2. Dustin May. Hopefully he throws me another sinker. He will, but this one will be out of reach. I'll let this go for a ball. That's ball 2. I'm hoping that he throws me one in the zone. He does not. Another sinker out of the zone. We will look at it, and it'll be a full count. De La Cruz has done a good job to bring this full. Can he deliver a run? That should have been ball 4, but I swung out of panic, and it is into foul territory. That was certainly ball 4. That's my bad. That one's on me. That one, instead, is going to be extra bases, I think. No. It had a good shot at being extra bases, but the center fielder does a good job of getting there quick. I think that's Kyle Lewis out there in center field. He did a good job to get there, and instead of being an extra bases, it's just a 2-out single, but hey, it extends the inning for Alek Thomas, who has been dangerous in the past couple of games we've played with him, but unfortunately, this time, he just flies out to center field, and that's the end of the second. I could certainly use an insurance run. You know I love me some insurance runs, but we're going to have to wait till the bottom of the third to try again. Thomas will track that ball in left center, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Casey Mize has pitched very well. I've been impressed with him. He's had a good year. Very good year. He's a little cold, as you saw by when we were loading into the game. He had the little cold snowflake symbol next to his name, but maybe that's just a little bit of bad simulation luck, and when he's actually in the game like this, he'll actually play pretty well, which is proving to be right. Victor Robles has the only hit so far in the day for the Nationals. He won't get a second one as Mauricio tracks that one into shallow left field at the edge of the left field grass there. And that ends the inning. We go bottom 3, and Julio Rodriguez will step up again. He led off the first, and now he leads off the third. If we're only able to get 1 run off of Dustin May, I guess that's good, as long as we don't allow any runs for the Nationals to get. I'll be happy with the 1-0 victory. A victory is a victory, man. I don't care if it comes 1-0 or 100-0, as long as it's a victory. But now we're looking at the man who doubled his first time up, Jonathan India. He will swing and miss. That was a good pitch. Was that a slurve? Might have been a slurve. It was. I was way too early on it. And that is a strikeout for the second out of the inning. And Kirilloff will foul tip, making it 2-2. Come on, Dustin. Give your former team a little bit of a break here. I know we traded you for a better player, dumping your contract, even though Juan Soto's contract is about as big. But for the production, I mean, one player is battling for the MVP, the other is having a horrible year. So I feel like we got the better of the deal, the better of the bargain. Plus, we've got Quinn Priester, who has become some sort of like cult phenom and has dominated this year, having a breakout season. I definitely didn't swing, old man. You would have to get your eyes checked if you thought I swung on that one. I have yet to hit an actual home run with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in a regular season game. I hit one in preseason, or not preseason. I hit one in spring training, but I have yet to hit one in a regular season game, so I'm due. I am due for a home run with Vladdy Jr. Does it come here? I hope it does. Dustin May with the delivery, and that is going to be up the middle of the field into center field territory. That was a good pitch. Slurve right down the middle. If I maybe move the PCI a little bit, I could get underneath it and get some lift on it. I got it on top of it, and I just kind of chopped it in the ground. But it does get a single out of it, so runners on first and second for 2 outs. Juan Soto steps up. He's dangerous with runners in scoring position. And he will continue to be. That's got a good shot at going over the wall, but it does not. It died. I thought that was for sure getting over. That's tough. That's real tough. I thought for sure that was going to go over the wall. But instead, it's the third out of the inning, and the Nationals step up for the fourth. And Casey Mize will send a slider to Kyle Lewis. India bobbles it, but he contains it and still picks up the out. Good job, India. Don't want to get an error. I don't know if you're in contention for a gold glove, but we don't want to screw it up, even if you aren't. Tristan Casas, 0 for 1 on the night. He will be 0 for 2. India makes another great play and is able to get Casas out. I'm assuming Casas wants a little bit of revenge after getting traded halfway through the year. He's been with us for a while. We had Casas for maybe like 3 seasons, I think. 2.5 maybe? I don't remember exactly how long we had him, but that's the 3rd out of the inning. We go bottom 4. Ronnie Mauricio will lead off. 6, 7, and 8 hitters. And that'll be, take the pitch, Ronnie. Take the hit, and then take your base. Those don't come around very often. 3-1 count, and Mauricio gets a hold of one, but sends it foul. That was a good cutter. High and in tight. Good location for the cutter. I should have... judging by where the pitch ended up being, that might have been called strike 3. I don't know. But I wanted to kind of take that for a walk. Instead, Mauricio sends that to center field. Lewis is underneath it, and that is the first out. Man, since that first inning, since Kirilloff drove in India, we have not been able to get any offense going. It's just been consistency by Dustin May. Adley Rushman got a hold of one, sends it to deep center field. Is that going to go over the wall? At the warning track, it's caught by Kyle Lewis. That had home run potential. If that center field wall was a little shallow, that was getting over. Just not enough oomph underneath it. And that is a called strike 3 to end the inning. De La Cruz goes down looking. Very strong inning from Dustin May there. We're going to need exactly the same thing from Casey Mize. De La Cruz has to go a while, and he gets it into foul territory. He had to run a long way to get that one. But he does do it, and that's the first out. That's a quick first out. That's what you love to see. Love to see those quick first outs, and that's going to be a quick second out. Rodriguez will track it in left field, make the play. 2 out. Awesome. Awesome sauce. And now it's the rookie Alex Freeland. He will send that to foul territory. That's going to either be caught by De La Cruz or go into foul territory. It will just be foul. I didn't really get a chance to make an animation on that, but that's okay because we could try and strike him out here. Nope, instead he grounds to shortstop. Mauricio fields it, throws it to first. Inning over. We are flying through this game. We are now bottom 5. 1-0 Reds still. The only run of the game, the only really offense of the game came in the first inning, but that has a chance to go out. That is on a rope into right field. Alec Thomas has been a man on a mission this season. That ball is gone. Santa Maria. Home run, Redlegs. Alec Thomas, number 27. He put that ball on a rope and sent it to right field. He has been so good this year. I don't know what's gotten into him. Maybe hitting in the 9 hole is just what he needed. He was efficient when he was hitting the top of the order, but when we moved him down to the 9 hole, he has been so good. So good. And now Julio Rodriguez, right after the home run, gets a single. So we got nobody out, and we are sitting pretty with a runner on first. India steps up. India's got a double and a run scored. Can he move Julio around the bases? Jonathan India sends that to the gap. Will it get down? Yes, it will. Rodriguez has got a chance to score, but I'm just going to keep him at third. They didn't really get the greatest of head starts because I wasn't sure if the left fielder Robles is going to be able to make the diving play. But India with 2 doubles tonight, and they are going to pull Dustin May in the 5th. Wow, they bring in Andre Lara to replace Dustin May, but he doesn't even go 5 full innings of baseball. Dustin May, what a shocking performance. He comes back to Cincinnati to try to get some revenge, and yet we just prove why we traded him in the first place, because he was having a rough year, and it continues. I'm not sending him home. If that goes to the backstop, maybe I send Rodriguez home, but not when he blocked it right there. And a former Red is in the bullpen, Sonny Gray. Another former Red. This Nationals team seems to be littered with former Reds, and that should have been ball 3. I don't know why I swung at that. Swung at that, not swang. I don't know why I swung at that. 2-2 count to Kirilloff. He's already got 1 RBI. Can he make it 3? Kirilloff That ball will get down past Casas in right field. I'm going to send him home at second base. India, can he make it? 70 speed. Yes, he can. 4-0 Reds. Kirilloff delivers 2 more RBIs. He's having a day. I wasn't sure if that was going to get past Casas. Maybe that's why we had Casas hit DH instead of play right field, because he couldn't. Maybe Kirilloff makes that play in right field. Who knows? We'll never know. But now we sit Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He sends that to deep left center, but unfortunately for us, that is the first out of the inning. The run stops there. The consistency stops there. But it's Juan Soto's opportunity. Come on, Juan. You need to keep up with these MVP votes. You need to battle Freddie Freeman for the MVP. You've had it all season. You cannot choke it away at the end of the year. You've only got about 6 games left to go, maybe even less than that. I think there might be like 4 games left to go, maybe 5. I'm not 100% sure. I think there's 4 because you got 1 more game in the series against the Nationals, and then you've got a 3-game set to finish the year. I forget who it's against. So I think there's only 4 games, 5 including this one. And Juan Soto is in second place currently for the MVP, but Ronnie Mauricio might have driven another run. No, he doesn't. It stays in the air too long. Casas makes the play, but we add 3 more runs in the inning to give insurance to Casey Mize, who heads to the 6th, and he is pitching a masterclass here. Rodriguez tracks that into the left foul territory and makes the first out of the inning. Nick York, the leadoff man, will step up to the plate on a 2-1 count, making it 2-2. Can we strike him out? I think we've only got, 3 or 4 strikeouts in this game. Make it 4? Yes, he went around. First base umpire gives us a generous call, and that is the second out of the inning. I know Nick York is upset about that. I would be too. That was not a strike. That was not a swing, I wouldn't think. But that is a quick 6th inning. Casey Mize makes quick work of the Nationals in the 6th, and we go Adley Rutschman to lead off the bottom of the 6th. I don't really need any more insurance runs at this point. All we need is to win this game, but Adley leads off with a single in center field. It's a good start, I guess. Very good start to the inning. De La Cruz, full count. Runner on first. Come on, Ellie. Give us something to work with here. Not enough on it. Good timing, good location, but it does not go far enough. Casas makes the play, but now we get Alek Thomas, who set a rope into right field last at bat. Can he do it again, this time with a runner on first? Alek Thomas into right field. It goes into the spot I was asking for, just not high enough. It is a 1-out single. Runners on second and first now for Julio Rodriguez, the original leadoff man, but now hitting with runners in scoring position and a chance to add another run. It will drop in front of the center fielder, Lewis. And Rutschman will come around standing up to add a 5th run to this lead. The Reds are cooking. And now it's a full count to Jonathan India. He has 2 doubles today. Can he make it 3? Oh, I was early. That was certainly a double. I felt it. I could taste it. I could taste a double, but I was just early. Instead, it's going to have to be a single and an RBI. 6-0 Reds. Behind the RBI single of Jonathan India. That's 3 hits for him today. He is cooking. Absolutely cooking. Kirilloff steps up. He's dangerous with a bat in his hands. That's going to go to deep right field, but unfortunately it only makes it to the warning track. Casas has been working today. We've given him a lot of stuff to do today. He's been diving out there. He's been running all around right field. And for the most part, he's had a good day out there. He's only had 1 bad play, which was the missed dive opportunity earlier. Last time Kirilloff was up, but they are going to walk the bases loaded for Juan Soto. Is that a good idea? Not really. But Juan Soto hasn't really proven today that he's been able to capitalize. So let's see if we can do it here. Everything will be forgiven if you capitalize on this, Juan. He's the defending Silver Slugger in the outfield. He's got a chance to be the MVP and the Hank Aaron and win the batting title. but he's got to perform, and he will get at least one. I'm going to send 2 around. Jonathan India will come home again. He's safe. 2 RBIs for Juan Soto. That's big. He needed some more RBIs to keep up with Freddie Freeman. They're going to pull their reliever and bring in former Cincinnati Reds starter Sonny Gray. I think he was here for maybe 2 seasons, maybe 2.5 years. I can't remember exactly how long, but he was here, and he pitched very well when he was here. Ronnie Mauricio will end the inning with a grounder to first, but we have added 8 runs on this game. 8-0 in the 7th, and that will be into left center. Thomas should be able to track it, and he does. And that is a first out here in Cincinnati. What a fantastic performance by all of our players, including Casey Mize. Casey Mize has done very well today. Casas will send that into left field, but it will go foul. So let's see if we can strike him out with a sinker here. They're not going to expect a sinker. He does hit it. Shortstop, Mauricio fields it, throws on the run, gets him out. Second out of the inning. Good play from Mauricio defensively. Casas, if he was a little bit faster, maybe +5 speed, he might have beaten it out, or it would have been definitely worth taking a look. On a full count, Mauricio gets out Urias. And that is a quick 7th inning for the Nationals. They go down real quick. 1, 2, 3. We go bottom 7. Adley Rushman will send that ball into foul territory at third base, but Urias will make the play. 1 out. Kind of a bad swing. I probably shouldn't have swung at that, but you know what? We're up 8-0. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. De La Cruz steps up 1 for 3. Sitting on another full count. This time it's to first base, and the first baseman makes a great play. Fields it, and 2 outs. Now we're looking at Alek Thomas, who I'm hoping can get on base to extend this inning. 1 more hitter. Thomas, why did I swing at that? The world may never know. That was an ugly swing and an ugly pitch, but it got me. I took the bait. And now on a 1-2 count, Sonny Gray delivers a 2-seamer, or not a 2-seamer, a sinker, excuse me, and it goes right back up to him. He makes a great play, great reactions. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for the Reds. We go top 8 now. I am going to have somebody in the bullpen, probably Lucas Sims, maybe Zach Britton too, just in case. But Casey Mize is still in the green for stamina, and he's only thrown 89 pitches, about to be 90 with that one. I think he could go 9. He could go for the complete game shutout. As long as everything goes to plan, Thomas will make the trek over a little bit to his right and make the play in left center for the first out of the inning. Kybert Ruiz steps up with 1 out, and he will send that to basically the exact same spot. Maybe a little bit deeper, but virtually the same spot, and that is back-to-back quick outs for the Reds. Freeland, the rookie, steps up 0 for 2. Can he get his first career hit? He will just chip that back to Casey Mize, and that is a quick 8th inning. I'm going to let Casey go to the 9th. Might as well give him an opportunity to get a complete game shutout. That is a rare thing in baseball nowadays. Bottom 8, Ryan Helsley steps up to pitch in the 8th. Rodriguez will take the leadoff single and get on base. Good job. Jonathan India, 3 for 4. 3 for 4. Can he make it 4 for 5? India sends that to left center. Lewis will make the play very easily, and that's the first out. That's okay. We're not looking for any more runs. We don't really need any more runs. We just need to get to the 9th and get out of here with a victory. That's all we care about. But you know what? 82 speed, 85 steal on a righty. I'm taking the base. Go, Julio. Take that base. That's a very hittable pitch, but Julio is going to easily get there. No chance. Freeland couldn't even get the play. I mean, it was kind of a bad throw from Ruiz, but still, they had no shot at getting Julio there. 34 stolen bases for Julio, and I passed up on a very hittable pitch to get him that 34th stolen base. And instead, I swing it that 12-6 that was low in the dirt. Not really in the dirt, but you know what I mean. It was low. 2-2 count to Kirilloff. 1 out in the inning. Kirilloff will add another RBI, man. This is what, number 4 for Kirilloff today? He has been raking those RBIs. he is getting ribby after ribby after ribby. Kirillov's having a day. And Vladdy finally got involved with a single earlier in the game when everybody was hitting. And now he will get another single. 1 out, single into left field. Runners on first and second now. And that allows for Juan Soto to have a possibility for some more RBIs. Come on, Juan. You can do it. Get some more RBIs, preferably a home run. Juan Soto into right field. It will not be enough for an RBI. I don't trust 59 speed. He would have been safe. Darn it, I should have sent him. I'm sorry, Juan, I didn't mean to. But now that's bases juice for Ronnie Mauricio. Can Mauricio get any more insurance? I mean, it's not like we need any more insurance, but padding stats is always nice. He's going to look at a ball to make it 2-1. I don't think Mauricio has it in him to hit a grand slam, but you never know, especially in Great American. Oh, I gave him a can of corn. A can of corn to the second baseman. I screwed that up. I probably put the PCI in a bad spot. But Adley Rutschman, we know from past experience, has it in him to hit a home run. Can he just do it when the bases are loaded and the pressure's on? Adley Rutschman, no, inning over. PCI was in a bad spot, and I was early as well. We go top 9. Missed opportunity. But I'm going to give Casey the green light. He's thrown 98, about to be 99 pitches. I'm going to give him the green light to try and get this complete game shutout. We just need 3 quick outs, and day is done. Game is over. But he's got a 3-1 count on Rodriguez here, the first baseman. He gets him swinging on the fastball. Can we maybe get him swinging on this splitter on full count? Maybe. No, he looks at that's great plate discipline right there to not swing at that pitch. A splitter high. Great plate discipline. Soto won't be able to field that, but couldn't make the play at second. Okay, it's getting a little scary here, Casey. I believe in you to get a double play. Yes, he does. India bobbles it, but he should have a speed. Got him. 2 down. Jonathan India's had 2 close encounters with an error. He's got to be careful. But now Kyle Lewis steps up with a runner on third. A chance to ruin the complete game shutout, but he will not. Soto will field it, and it's a complete game shutout for Casey Mize. Great performance from him. You love to see it. Reds win 9-0. The offense exploded in the middle innings there. And we are looking good headed into the postseason. I am excited for this game, for this postseason, man. We are looking real good. Casey Mize gets the complete game shutout. Dustin May gets the loss. India had 2 doubles. Kirilov had 4 RBIs, and Thomas had the home run. We looked really, really good. We only allowed 2 hits. It was a 2-hit complete game shutout. It almost was a perfect game, ladies and gentlemen. A perfect game. That would have been amazing. That would have been the title of the video for sure. Congratulations. The Bats have finished the season 88-62. They won the division. The Lookouts don't make the postseason. That's okay. But the Bats do make the playoffs. Best team in the division. Okay, I'll take it. We got to finish the series against the Nationals. We do lose it. Why can't we ever just sweep a team? All I want to do is just sweep one team. But whatever. Final series is against the Brewers. How many wins will we finish with? 104. Wow. 104 is what we finished with, boys. We got to take a look at awards. We got to take a look at stats. So the standings finish here. The Cubs managed to get over 500. Congratulations. But we absolutely dominated the Central. 22 games ahead of the Cubs. Padres, Dodgers, and Giants all make the playoffs in the West. That's pretty crazy. Yankees and Orioles make the playoffs in the East. The Central has the Tigers and the White Sox. The Tigers had the best record in the American League at 96 wins. We had the best record overall at 104. Angels make the playoffs in the West, and we know about the White Sox and the Orioles. The Braves make it over in the East, and that is your playoffs. That's crazy, man. 104 wins is absolutely insane. Awards. Francisco Lindor won the most valuable player, so he was in third place. He was in third place before we jumped into that game. He had a crazy end of the season. And he ends up winning the MVP. So unfortunately, Juan Soto couldn't get it done. He was in the lead for most of the season, but it seems like once we traded for him, he kind of went downhill. That's not good. Quinn Priester does take home the Cy Young. And remember, this guy was in the bullpen for the majority of the season. And he takes home the Cy Young with a 20-win season and a 3.24 ERA. Phenomenal year. And that is now back-to-back Cy Young winners. Francisco Lindor also takes home the batting title, just beating out Juan Soto. Reliever of the year goes to Taylor Rogers instead of Emmanuel Clase. So we came up short on a few different awards, but we did win one of the most important ones, the Cy Young. Jake Etter wins the Rookie of the Year. We didn't really have anybody in the running this year. Cam Collier won it last year. The Hank Aaron goes to Francisco. So Francisco Lindor did the triple. He won the MVP, the batting title, and the Hank Aaron. Good for him. Good for him. He got the triple crown. Gold Glove pitcher Trevor Rogers. Gold Glove catcher Joe Mack. Looks like the Marlins had a fantastic year. Matt Olson gets a Gold Glove first base. Max Muncy gets Gold Glove second base. Matt Chapman gets Gold Glove third base. Brady House gets Gold Glove shortstop. Mauricio was close. Verdugo. Alex Verdugo gets Gold Glove left field. Robles gets Gold Glove center field. And Christian Robinson gets Gold Glove right field. Silver Slugger goes to Ohtani. Of course it does. Henry Davis gets Gold Glove catcher. Rushman was close. Silver Slugger first base is Freddie Freeman. Second base is Brandon Lowe. India was close. Devers gets third base. Lindor gets shortstop. Lindor had a fantastic year. Juan Soto does get an award, though. That's good. He gets Silver Slugger outfield. Blade gets outfield. And Bellinger gets outfield. So those are your awards for the year. We'll go quickly over league leaders. I won't read everybody out, but I will scroll through. If you want to pause and take a more in-depth look at the top 10, you certainly can, or the top 8, I should say. You certainly can, and then I will go into the American League like we usually do, and then we'll take a quick look at the stats for our team, and that'll be the end of the episode. We finished with 104 wins. We had a really good season, our best season in the series, and we are looking to defend our World Series championship with a World Series title of our own. That's what we want. So now we go to the American League, and we see who was playing well over on this side. I can't believe the Marlins had such a good year. They took home a lot of awards. It was basically the Marlins and Francisco Lindor who took home all of the awards in the National League, basically. That's what it felt like, at least. I hope we don't have to play them in the playoffs. I don't know if they made it, actually. We'll have to check and see. Looks like the Tigers had a good year. We knew the Tigers had a good year because they finished with the best record in the American League, I think. So there we go. Marlins do not make the playoffs. So they had that good of a year in terms of individual, but they didn't make the playoffs. They had 76 wins. So their players were just dominating, but their team as a whole couldn't get it figured out. Weird. Really, really weird. Stats on the season. Julio Rodriguez finishes with 36 home runs in 146 games. He has a 2.79 ERA, 5.39 slugging, a 9.02 OPS. Very good year from Julio Rodriguez. Jonathan India maybe got his Gold Glove stolen, although he wasn't really in the running. Maybe got the batting title stolen, I should say. 21 home runs, so not as good as he had last season with 32. That was just a weird anomaly, I'm assuming, because he hit 32 home runs and a 3.39 average. I'm assuming this is just like, I mean, you can't really, that's such a good season to replicate. He got the same RBIs, but that's hard to replicate. He had a 3.04 ERA, so he's playing really well. An 8.56 OPS, 4.90 slugging. Good year from India. I'm not mad at him by any means. Kirilloff, in his first whole season here in Cincinnati, hit 39 home runs, a career best, 103 RBIs, 260 average, 5.24 slugging, 861 OPS. Really good year from Kirilloff. Happy to have him on the team. Vladdy Jr., after coming in free agency, had 31 home runs, 93 driven in, so he kind of dropped in production, but that's just because he was surrounded by other really, really good players. 278 average, a 498 slugging, 868 OPS. So it's a down season for him in terms of just stats, pure stats. But he's on a championship contending team. So I think he would, and he had 30-plus home runs and 90-plus RBIs, so I feel like he would trade that for a World Series. Juan Soto, coming off of the trade deadline, he only had half a season with us. 43 home runs. A lot of those were in Washington. 116 driven in, 333 average, a 1.051 OPS, a 622 slugging, and the MVP stolen away from him. I will die on that hill. Ronnie Mauricio, in his first full season here in Cincinnati, 28 home runs, 93 RBIs, 292 average, 523 slugging, 863 OPS. I did not mean to hit that button. I apologize. 863. Did I say 823? 863 OPS. And Adley Rutschman, coming in the trade deadline, had his best season as a professional. 25 home runs, 76 RBIs, 242 average, 430 slugging. Very, very good season from Adley. Happy to have him on the team now. Ellie De La Cruz just continues to get better and better, as you would want from your as you would want from your former Rookie of the Year. 29 home runs, 93 driven in, 302 average. He's going to be a stud. He's our cornerstone third baseman for the future. He's an absolute stud. And then speaking of cornerstone future pieces, Alek Thomas, man, had a phenomenal year. I know it doesn't look like it in terms of the stats. 27 home runs, 74 RBIs, 267 average. It's not like mind-blowing numbers, but when we were playing with him, he was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Matt McClain came up in an injury. I think he had to come up, and he did okay in his time up here. Carter Jensen was the starter for half the season and did okay, did a really good job. I was very impressed with him, very happy. He's a good backup catcher, good young prospect. Cam Collier, former Rookie of the Year, didn't really get to play much, kind of upset about that, but we just have so many other good pieces here, and especially because he plays third base along with De La Cruz, it's hard to find some room for him. And now that we have Vladdy Jr., he was probably going to play first base this season until we brought in Vladdy. Tamar Johnson didn't really get to play much. 34 games, 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. Good year for him from what he was given. Drew Jones played in 55 games, 9 home runs, 25 driven in, 225 average. Also a good year for what he had to do. And then if we can find where's he at? Where is the boy? There he is. Shohei Ohtani, his hitting stats. He had 24 home runs, 77 RBIs, a 320 average, but he is getting a little bit older. We are going to have to figure out in this final season, next season, because next season will be the final year for the Cincinnati Reds rebuild, I would assume. We'll have to find make a final decision on Shohei. Do we just ride it out and give him one more season, even though he's starting to drop off in production? I guess I shouldn't say that because he was in contention for the Cy Young for a lot of the year, so maybe he's not dropping off. Maybe I'm over-dramatic a little bit. But the pitch rotation, Shohei had 13 wins, 10 losses in 190 innings. He gave up 32 home runs, struck out 224, had a 4.88 ERA, which is a little bit too high, had a 1.41 whip. He had a really good year. Not as good as last season, obviously, at 19-9. But a good year, very good year, and he did a good year hitting too, so I mean, you can't really argue too much. Logan Gilbert, first full season here, 17-9, 207 innings, 30 home runs given up, 335 average, or 335 ERA, a 1.05 whip. Solid year from Logan Gilbert. We've got a solid starting 5. Casey Mize, we just saw him get a complete game shutout in the game against the Nationals, 13 wins, 7 losses on 198.2 innings. He gave up 33 home runs, had a 3.17 ERA, and a 1.15 whip. Also a very solid year from him. Hunter Green, I'm glad to see him actually start to produce because we remember the struggle years. We remember these struggle years. Then we moved him to the bullpen. I'm pretty sure last season he was in the bullpen. But we remember these hard years. The 4 wins, the 8 wins, the 9 wins. But now he actually has a 12-8 record in 172 innings. Gave up 29 home runs, struck out 217, which is his best since 2024. And had a 5.17 ERA. So he had a really high ERA, but got the wins that we needed. And then our Cy Young, 43 games played, 20 wins, which is a massive jump from what he was doing in the Pirates organization in 180 innings. It would be a lot more, but remember, he was in the bullpen for most of the beginning of the year, so it was only recently that we moved him. I think a little bit before the trade deadline, maybe the episode before the trade deadline, we moved him into the starting rotation, actually. So that's why his innings are a little bit lower. Gave up 26 home runs, struck out 187, had a 3.24 ERA and a 1.11 whip, and he won the Cy Young. So I'd say that's a pretty successful season. That's our starting five, our starting rotation. Jordan Hicks in the bullpen went 7-1 in 102 innings. Gave up 17 home runs, struck out 110, had a 4.12 ERA and a 1.51 whip. But his contract is what worries me. He's a free agent after next season, and he cost about $6 million. I don't know what to do with him. Jesus Luzardo in 60 games had 1 win, 2 losses, 2 saves, gave up 9 home runs, a 2.61 ERA, a 1.11 whip. Maybe those numbers would be worse if he was given more opportunities, more than 60 games. I don't know, but that's what he was given, and he did okay with it. Brian Abreu, 5-1, really good year for him in 60 innings, 11 home runs, struck out 62, had a 4.75 ERA, and he was really solid. I was really impressed with him, very happy. Luis Patino had 10 games since being called back up from minor league system. Went 2-2. He blew a save, which is worrying. Gave up 4 home runs, struck out 13, had a 5.27 ERA, 1.39 whip. I don't know how much we'll use Patino in the postseason. I don't know. I feel like I'll stick to maybe these 2 guys. These 3 guys, I should say, instead of Patino. I don't know. Zach Britton, I was a little bit worried because he's 38, but he's a veteran. He got the job done in 21 games, 2 wins, 1 save, had given up 1 home run, 20 strikeouts, a 1.93 ERA. For being a 65 overall and being 38 years old, I feel like he produced good enough. He did what he had to do when he was called upon and got the job done. Lucas Sims in 45 games, 2-3, 2 saves, 4 blown saves, 44 innings, gave up 5 home runs, 44 strikeouts, 2.84 ERA, and a 1.26 whip. Very good year from our former closing pitcher, but now our true closing pitcher in his second full season here. He went 4-0, 48 saves, coming off of last year's 47 saves. He blew 8 of them, or he blew 8 saves, so he could have had even more. That's okay. It's a little worrying, but it's okay. He'll get the job done in the postseason, I believe. Gave up 10 home runs, struck out 66, and had a 2.31 ERA and a 1.01 whip, and finished in second place for the reliever of the year. So, had a very good season. And that is our regular season. That is season number 5 done. Yes, season number 5 is complete. Hopefully, the postseason ends with us holding our second straight World Series trophy, but we will have to find out next episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Links are down below in the description for my other channels and for the link to this playlist. So if you happen to have missed a episode previous, go back and watch it with the link in the description. So thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. I appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.